Yes, this is Jasmine. Good. How are you? Yes. Yes. And you said your name was Tony? Okay. Yes, but my major is I'm a double major, so it's sociology and anthropology. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Last year I went to Spelman College and I stayed in the dorm and I had a roommate. Yes, we had a challenge because it was a miscommunication with other girls in the dorm that told her that I was speaking badly about her. And then, so I just went up to her and talked to her, and we just settled everything, and we had a mediation. We talked about it, and it was just a miscommunication. I was just explaining how it's just different living because most of my life I had a roommate situation with my sister. It was just different living with a different person I never met before, but we talked everything out, and it was just fine. No, she was from California, but we had people from other countries in the dorm, so that was just fine too. Next door, I had a roommate. She wasn't my roommate, but she was in the next room next to me, and she was from another country, and I bonded with her too. I bonded with like everybody in the dorm. It was just interesting to know her culture and understand things that came from where she's from and stuff. Okay, well, right now, I really just want to work for Disney because I really want to gain some experience, and I know that people from all over the world come from go to Disney. And my major is anthropology and sociology, and sociology is studying human behavior, and anthropology is studying human cultures. So I feel like it will be able to help me be able to relate to people from different cultures and everything because I will be able to understand where they're coming from since I'm studying that, and I want to get into counseling, and later become a lawyer and be able to communicate with different people all over the world and just people in the United States as well, and be able to understand where everyone's coming from. Well, I volunteered with the food bank in my area, and we worked with the homeless, and we worked with feeding them, and I worked in the kitchen. Um, when I was 13 years old, I volunteered. It was this place called the Allen Neighborhood Center, and we will go out and we'll help people who weren't able to clean up their yard and things. And I also volunteer for Girl Scouts, and I will start over volunteering for Girl Scouts this summer and working with kids. Well, the busiest day at Langston Park and Recreation is like every day. I worked during the summer before I went off to my other college, and like the busiest day I had was we worked on the 4th of July, and they had like these balloon setup things, like the jumping balloon thing, and like a rock climbing one, and I was really busy, and we had to like usher the kids and make sure the kids would stay in line and people were safe and people weren't like falling off and like rushing people. I have not yet, but if I was to have to respond to an emergency, I would make sure that I stay calm and I look calm because people tend to panic when people are like frantic. And if they see that somebody's working and they're staying calm, then that way they be like, okay, so it's not really that big of a deal, and then that's how I handle. A time I never really had because I just make sure I'm very organized. So I don't really have like this time where the time that I feel like that I make sure I'm organized so that I can get things done right after another and have it lined up and just keep getting it done and done and done until everything's done correctly. If someone interrupts me, I just stop what I'm doing and I listen to what they have to do. If I'm really busy, I tell them I will finish this up real quick and then I go over there and I'll help you. A repetitive tasks are kind of fun because if I'm keep doing something over and over, I will learn to get better at what I'm doing, and I will never get bored because you have to keep doing something over and over and over, and you just like learn how to do it in different type of ways. I would say team because the team is I think it's fun working in groups with people because you get to learn how different people work with you. I get to learn how to work with different other people and how they work, and I get to learn off of them, and they can learn off of me and how I work. Well, I live in Michigan, so we get everything. So I would not mind. And right now it's really really cold outside and snow, so I would not mind working outside in the heat. Like I can get a break from the cold weather right now. Yes, yes, yes. I have two. I have my ears pierced, just the first hole and the second hole. Yes, yes. Okay, that's fine. Yes. I do not have a driver's license. Well, I think each guest is different, so I will have to get to know the guests on their personal level to make them feel welcome. Well, I'll start up a conversation to kind of like ask them like where they're from and like what do they like about Disney so far. I actually received an email on when the auditions were, and I'm not able to make it at this time. Well, the attractions roles, I really been doing research on it, and I've been looking at how we'll have to handle guest situations for like certain people getting on rides and making sure everyone's safe. So I really enjoy like making sure people are safe and they're listening and following direction. Well, I guess I would just tell them the situation at hand, what's going on, and then direct them towards probably like get them excited for another ride. Like probably point them to my favorite ride, so they won't focus on the ride just being broken down. They'll just be like, oh well, there's other things I can do in the park, and then they go and on to that, move on to the next ride. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The cleanliness. I've been to Disney before, and then I also went to Universal, and I noticed the difference in how clean the park is, and I was like, yes. And I really am a germaphobe, so like I really make sure things are clean. And I think when I come to the park and other people come to the park, we will want them to feel welcome and that it's very clean. Yes, yes. I have no housekeeping experience unless you count my own house. I feel like I can do that. I'll be able to handle that. Yes. If a guest asks me for additional towels, are we allowed? We're allowed to give them additional towels, or oh, I would just say sure, and I'll give them additional towels. No, no, but I was certified for CPR and first aid when I was in high school. But now, now I'm hearing about it. I don't think so because I don't swim that. I can swim very well. I taught myself how to swim, but I don't swim that way. So no. Yeah, that is. Well, the merch, I thought I didn't put low interest. Well, when I worked for Avon and Cutco, it basically were to just sell products to people, and people really weren't buying anything. So I really don't have that much experience. So that's why I kind of stopped doing it early because I really wanted to work with kids more than selling products to people. Yes. No. Okay. The two roles I think I'm most qualified for is custodial in the Bibliobout Boutique. Well, I don't have professional experience, but I do know how to do top knots and regular buns and braids and ponytails. And anything that I do not know how to do, I'm willing to learn. Just working on my hair and my little niece's hair. Um, no, but that's something I'm willing to learn. I know the basics of applying makeup. I just don't apply makeup. All right, thank you.